LeBron James.
Absolutely never-ending topic. Who's better, LeBron or Michael?
On a recent episode of the ESPN Plus show, More Than an Athlete, LeBron got to talking about coming back from a 3-1 deficit and winning the 2016 NBA Finals over the 73-9 Warriors. Let's listen.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time. That's what I felt. I was super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic. Like, obviously, I showed that the first wave of emotion was y'all, everyone saw me crying. Like, that was all for 52 years of everything in sports was going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
Oh. Do we have to start this already again? And why is LeBron doing this?
Because LeBron has more media outlets than anybody. What we need in 2019 is one more show with LeBron where he sits around talking about himself and his buddies all kind of nod in agreement.
I know a lot of people have said that, right? If he wins one for Cleveland, it'll count for like 5 or 6 championships. But that was a really, really good team, man. That's definitely doing a disservice and a discredit to Kyrie Irving, who was a huge part of why they won that and remains an amazing player.
LeBron James going with the royal you, talking to himself. And the reason, Bo, this feels jarring is because Michael Jordan does not say this stuff about himself.
Now, what I want to know about LeBron when he said that, I bet he felt like that at that moment. Does he still feel like that right now? That's what I want to know.
It's a pretty good argument.
It's not really a good argument because part of the argument involves the idea 73-9, a team that had some weaknesses though, certainly, as we saw. There's a reason they went and got Kevin Durant, right?
We all know that the guy is one of the all-time greats, and that performance for him against Golden State, bringing Cleveland a title, puts him on a different stratosphere. But we all know, Michael, everyone's going to look at Michael Jordan and say 6-0 in the finals, and they're going to look at LeBron's record in the finals, and that's what's going to separate the two.
Michael Jordan is the arguably most titanic ego in sports, nay, human history, but he has never said, I am the greatest of all time. This man is saying that, and this man is deciding to wander into the fray that we're in every day in sports talk, but it feels subversive and it feels bold because hearing him say it feels like it's too much somehow.
Well, here's the thing. The fascinating thing about Jordan is Jordan's never had to say it. We have been here to say it for him.
I hate this topic because it makes you say things about somebody that seem bad. 4 players to me are on the Mount Rushmore. Russell, Magic, Michael, LeBron. I love LeBron, but Michael never did this. I did an interview with him that's out there circulating now. He always said, I'm never going to say I'm better than Russell. I'm never going to say I'm better than Kareem. I don't understand why LeBron did this. I hate this.
I've been critical of LeBron, and I've been wrong because he's the greatest at, you know what?
At what? What's he the greatest at, Papi?
Crying, whining, complaining, you know.
There you go, complaining.
Oh, you cannot do that to me, you know, I didn't get that call.
He does it just like
My hand hurts. My hand hurts. My hand hurts, yes.
Come on, Dad.
There's 73-9, and part of the argument is you dug yourself out of a 3-1 hole.
That's right.
The fact that you put yourself in a 3-1 hole in the first place.
Grit.
Look, if he is the number 2 dude behind Michael Jordan, there is no shame in that whatsoever. But we had this massive comeback, meaning you had to go there to compare yourself to a guy who never got to a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. That is not a good argument.
What can be said, though, is that Michael Jordan never beat a team as an underdog the way LeBron did there. That's the reason he feels that way. That's not a game Michael Jordan has ever won. Game 7 on the road where you're a huge underdog and everyone expects that the other team is the greatest of all time. I understand why at that moment it would feel, along with the ecstasy, like epiphany.
But I think more than anything else, people want to see the final act. If he retired tomorrow, that championship didn't make him the GOAT. The rest of his career, even if the Lakers don't win something, is going to be a part of that whole narrative. So I think he needs to hold off a little bit on proclaiming himself the greatest.
This, to me, is the face of a guy who is comfortable with his legacy. And I don't use legacy very lightly. It's one of those cliches, but I think it actually is the word here. He is confident in a way that young LeBron not. He wasn't, right? Post-decision LeBron was chastened. This LeBron in 2019, 2018 is saying, I'll come out and say it. I'm better than Michael Jordan, and I don't think that that's an unreasonable thing to maintain.
Oh, by the way, he's 3-6.
I love him. I hate
He's
this.
3-6 in the finals. And here's the thing about
3-6.
LeBron. You don't want to hold it against him that he took that one Cleveland Cavalier team to the final. The first
No.
team and the last
No.
team he took, he carried those teams on his back. So it shouldn't be held against him that he won in the conference finals.
But
That should
I'm
be
just
looked at
saying,
a
if you're going to
positive.
start comparing yourself to Jordan, I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
got to go someplace that's
I
tough.
agree.
Did Jordan ever run to someone else and say, help me? No, he didn't.
No.
He is
He averaged a
not
triple-double in that
He is-
series
that's-
against maybe the best team ever.
I am aware of those things. He's not Michael Jordan.